and we are going to go to our next guest. She is going to join us here on our big program. And we are going to go to the old Skype, the old Skype-a-rooney, and I think we've got our next guest with us. Rebel, how are you, my friend? I see that you're currently muted, but there she is. There she is.
Awesome.
So, Rebel, welcome to the broadcast here. You are quite the little perv magnet.
Thank you.
Tell us about yourself, my friend. Tell us all about yourself.
Man, I don't know where to start. I'm 28, been in the industry for about married, happily, loving what I'm doing.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. So we have got a great guest with us today. She joins us here on our big broadcast. And Rebel Rhyder is with us. So how did you get the name Rebel Rhyder?
So Rebel, it's been kind of like a nickname that like people have called me for the past like couple years, like being in the fetish community.
Okay.
And Rhyder, I just thought it sounded cool.
Hey, that works.
Yeah.
Rebel Rhyder with us today. She joins us here on our big broadcast, and she is quite amazing. She is going to be part of the Exotica convention coming up very soon.
Yeah.
So is this going to be like your first convention, or have you done these conventions before?
I've done 3 of the conventions from 2020. This year I'm gonna do more. So yeah, it's not my first one.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what is the reaction that you get when you go to these conventions? Because you are quite the perv magnet, my friend.
It's a lot of fun seeing like people that say that they're fans. Strangely enough, or maybe it's not that strange, I get a lot of couples coming up to me saying that they like my work, they watch me together. So that's kind of fun to see.
See, I have had the lovely and talented Britannia trying to get me to watch porn with her. And I just don't understand the concept of watching porn with the girlfriend. I guess
right.
Maybe it's one of those things of I watch, like if we were to watch you, okay, we're watching you get drilled, and then I want to bang Brittany because of it.
Right. Hey, to each their own, I guess.
So you get a lot of couples that will come to the conventions and see you.
Yeah, that surprises me because I was just expecting like the standard single horny guy.
That's right. That's right. The standard single horny guy. You're right. That's So you have been doing this porn thing for a little bit.
Yeah.
What has been some of the different things that have happened? Because you've been nominated by the AVNs. You've got a lot of cool stuff going on.
Yeah. So I mean, I've done like. Oh, it's been crazy. I've done everything from just like simple like blowjob shoot to like straight full on gangbangs with like fisting and like all the double stuff, all that fun stuff. But it's been crazy just to see like what I've been able to do in the past 3 years. Like some of this stuff I wouldn't have even thought about doing.
That's awesome.
Before.
So tell me about this, that you have this tweet that is on your Twitter. By the way, Rebel Rhyder XXX, and if you're watching us on JiggyJaguar.com or KJagRadio.com, or you're watching us on any of the places, Twitch and all various places, go check out Rebel Rhyder on the old Twitter machine. So
Yeah.
tell me about this pinned tweet, because the first time that I checked out your Twitter is this tweet of you bent over pulling something straight out of your ass. What in the world is this? And why was this filmed? And why is this on your Twitter?
So I got this toy. Basically, what it is, it's a 2 foot or almost 2 feet. It's 60 centimeters. Floppy dildo. And when I first got it, I was like, oh, I wonder how far I could put it up my ass. And I tried, and all of a sudden, it was just magically all the way up my ass. So I was like, oh, I gotta film myself pulling this out. So,
Fantastic.
yeah, that was my little magic
Fantastic.
trick.
Rebel Rhyder with us today. She joins us here on our big broadcast. So, who were some of the porn stars that you watch that you know that just do it for you?
So before I got in the industry, I really didn't watch porn too much. But now that I'm in the industry, I love watching some of the European porn stars. So she's independent, but I really like Siswet. She does a lot of like extreme anal stuff. But
Okay.
I like her. I love Anna Deville, Goth Charlotte, all that fun anal performers.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It is so the world of anal. Is this something
It's a
that you did
wonderful
before you got into the industry, or is this something that you did once you got into the industry? How did all this work?
So I started anal like a little bit before I got in the industry. My husband was the one that got me into it.
Of course,
and
it's
then,
always
yeah.
it's always those dastardly guys that get the women into the anal part of it.
Yeah, yeah, and I loved it like right away. So I don't know, maybe that's weird. But then once I got into industry, I started realizing that I was capable of doing just more than like standard dick and ass, Like I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, well, maybe I could take like two in my ass or like a fist or like some of these extreme toys. And it just kind of became a little challenge to myself. Like, oh, how far can I go with this?
That's great.
So, yeah.
It is Rebel Rhyder. She's with us today here on our big program, and I will have to say that you are fantastic with the whole porn
Thank
thing.
you.
How did you get
Yeah.
in? How did you get into the porn industry?
So I got in, it kind of like, I never intended on getting in. It just kind of happened. So I was doing like some cam work on the side just for fun and like a little extra spending money. One of my customers, he was like, hey, like, would you ever consider just doing a porn film, like just for fun? There's this company that's local to you in Arizona. They're called Glory Hole Swallow. I think you would do really well with them. So I gave him a call. I was like, hey, I think I'm kind of interested in doing a video, just seeing what it's like. And I did, and then I loved it, and I kept wanting to do more, and not all of a sudden, but after a certain amount of time, more and more people were wanting to book me and shoot with me, and it just kind of turned into what it is now.
Well, that is tremendous. That what was the first time going on a set like? What was all that?
That was an interesting experience. So like I said, it was for Glory Hole Swallow. So if you're not familiar with that, it's basically like a glory hole. The dick comes through the hole. You could do whatever you want with it. But the producer, he allowed my husband to come with me and watch and, kind of be a part of it. So it just kind of felt like I could do whatever I want. I could fuck the guy if I want to fuck the guy. I could just fuck it. It was a lot of fun, and it came naturally, and I didn't expect it to come naturally. But
Well, I will have to
yeah.
say that you are quite impressive as far as the as one of the things that you've got is you've got a lot of followers on Twitter.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your social media activity.
So I think right now, where am I at? Like 175K, something like
Yes,
that, something around there.
something like
Um,
that. It's pretty damn impressive, I'll have to say.
to be honest, I don't know where all of them came from, but I'm very happy they're all there. um, yeah, yeah. So yeah, 3 years. I've somehow managed to get 175,000 people interested in my butthole, for lack of better words.
Well, I will have to say that you've got quite the deal here. So what exactly how do you go about choosing some of the different things that you post to social media?
A lot of it is just stuff that kind of happens organically. Like I'll be shooting a video and something funny will happen or something like impressive will happen, like that 2 foot toy. Like
Yeah.
when I shot the video, I didn't think I could do it at first, but then it happened and I was like, oh, this is going on Twitter. So if I see something and like I think it's hot or funny or, whatever, I'll throw it up on Twitter and people enjoy that.
Well, you are just amazing. We've got Rebel Rhyder with us today. She joins us live. She is AVN nominated performer. Tell me a little bit about your AVN nominations.
Yeah, so this year I got my first 2 AVN nominations, and they were for the best DP scene and best gangbang scene. So those were a lot of fun.
So, how do you get the notification that this has happened, that you've been nominated?
To be honest, I didn't really get a notification. I just saw that, the AVN nominations went out, and I was like, oh, cool, let me see who was nominated. And then I saw my name twice, and I was like, oh, that's cool.
That's me.
Yeah, yeah. But I didn't get an official notification. I just saw random tweets from people like, "Hey, Rebel, congrats on your nomination." And I'm like, "Oh, cool."
Well, I think that is pretty badass. We have got Rebel Rhyder with us today. She's going to be part of the Exotica convention this summer. So when you've went to some of these past conventions, do you get a chance to actually go mingle, I guess, at the convention, or are you pretty much stuck at a booth for the whole time you're there?
So I would say I try to spend most of my time at the booth, especially if there's a large crowd of people and people constantly coming up. But if it starts to slow down a little bit, and it's a good time to take a little break, I'll go walk around and, talk to some of my friends and mingle with some people. Yeah, just kind of walk the floor, see what else there is.
So, do you ever end up getting recruited or book any work based upon these conventions that you attend? Do you ever get recruited or anything at any of these conventions? Or
Yeah, there have been a couple of shoots that I've booked from being at the convention, and some talent that I meet there that I end up working with. A lot of people, or a lot of the recruiting, I would say, is people that I really don't even know who they are. They're just like, "Hey, I want to book you," and I'm like, "I don't know who you are, so you're gonna have to show me some sort of."
That's awesome.
But yeah, there has been some work that has come out of it.
That's great. So with these conventions, I know that realistically, it's done so the fans or the marks can come and meet you guys and get autographs and photos and all this. What exactly is the appeal to you to doing the conventions?
So to me, I think it's really, I don't know, it's a good experience to meet some fans, to network. Maybe I'll meet someone in the industry that like I didn't know before, and now I have that connection. So it's mainly building connections, meeting fans, socializing, kind of getting my name out there, more exposure.
That's cool. That's cool. Because I've always wondered what the appeal is to the talent.
Right.
Because, you're there hanging out and doing your thing. And, like when you go to like Exotica's website, exoticaexpo.com, you will see all these photos and you'll see all these various, people having a great time at the event. But I've always wondered, what is the appeal to the porn stars? So
right.
I think that's awesome that you use it as a networking opportunity.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's fantastic. It's Rebel Rhyder. She's with us today here on our big program. She is quite amazing. So I notice you do a lot of gangbangs and things like that. Is that the preference, or is it the anal that's the preference?
That's a good question because I like it both. I like both of them. I mean, most of my gangbangs I get anal anyway.
Yeah.
I would say I would take a gangbang any day. That would probably be my preference over just like, a one-on-one scene or, something like that. But
that's great.
I love the gangbangs.
So what is the appeal of the gangbang?
For me, I think it's just there's a lot going on. You're constantly like have like a dick in your face, or like there's always something going on. There's like many people. They all have their different personalities. They all have their different styles, and it's just fun. I do it because it's fun.
That's great. That is great. It is Rebel Rhyder. She's with us today here on our broadcast. Now, you're going to be at the Tadpole Studios booth at Exotica.
I will.
So tell us about working with Tadpole and his fabulous crew.
Yeah, so Tadpole and their crew, they're all wonderful. I met them, I want to say, 2 years ago maybe.
Really?
When they booked me for one of their gangbangs. This was even before I was attending Exoticas and all of that. But I just thought that they were a really friendly group of guys, fun to work with, super down to earth, and super dependable. I love all of them.
That's awesome. So you're going to be at Exotica that weekend. What is the plan besides the booth? Do you have shoots planned or anything of that nature?
So I'll be at the Tadpole booth, and they have a gangbang orgy type thing planned. So I'll be shooting at least one of those scenes.
Okay.
And then I also try to set up, a couple other little shoots here and there. Last year I had a problem where I just set up way too much and I overworked myself. But, I always try to do something. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. It is a fantastic guest with us today. Rebel Rhyder joins us here on our broadcast, and she's going to be part of Exotica in Chicago, April 29th through May 1st. And she joins us today here via the magic of the old Skype, the old Skype-a-rooney, and she will be part of the Tadpole XXX studio booth in Chicago, and she's also going to be doing some shoots in Chicago as well. So, do you get into the convention the day before, the day of? How do you plan for these?
Yeah, so typically the convention is on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yep.
Um, so I'll get in typically on Thursday to go in early, set up the booth, get all of that preliminary stuff taken care of. There's always like paperwork and all of that to complete.
Yeah.
And then I'll stay Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We'll pack up the booth and everything on Sunday and typically fly out Monday morning back home.
That's great. That is great. It is a fantastic guest with us today. Rebel Rhyder joins us here on our program. So, once you're, how do you prep for a gangbang? How does all this take place? How do you get prepared for this sort of thing?
So assuming I don't have to find my own talent, like with Tadpole, if he books me for a gangbang, he already has all the guys set up and all of that. A big part of preparing for a gangbang is making sure everyone is current on their tests.
Yep.
So in the industry, we have a standard 14-day test that we all need to adhere to. There's all the paperwork that has to be completed, so everyone needs to have some ID with them. You need to sign model releases. So that's just all kind of like the paperwork, bookkeeping stuff. But for me personally, my preparation, I need to be anal prepped for one. So that's a whole process. Hopefully, or pretty much perfected it the past 3 years, at least for my body. Everyone has their own thing that they do. But yeah, aside from that, there's the mental preparation, which for me, I always get nervous before my shoots, but once they start, that all goes away, and I just kind of go with the flow. But yeah, there is a lot of preparation that goes into gangbangs.
That is interesting. We've got Rebel Rhyder with us today. ExoticaExpo.com is the official website. Go over and check out ExoticaExpo.com. Rebel Rhyder with us today here on our program. And Rebel, this has been fantastic. Thanks for making time for us. Thanks for coming on and chatting with us. What are some of your goals in the adult industry?
I don't really have any specific goals. I just want to keep having fun with it. For me, it's only worth doing if I'm having fun, right? So
Yes.
Keep having fun with it, keep going with the flow, meeting some cool people. Yeah, that's pretty much my primary goal.
Fantastic. Well, I appreciate you making time for us today. This has definitely been fun, and I look forward to chatting with you, doing video interviews, and with you at the expo. Thanks for doing this, and we will talk to you soon. Have yourself a pleasant day, and we'll see you in Chicago.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you, my friend. There she goes. That's Rebel Rhyder, and she joins us today here on our big program. And you can see her at Exotica Expo in Chicago. Yes, indeed. It is a sweet home Chicago. Tadpole X Studios will have a booth at the Chicago Exotica. That is April 29th through May 1st. And Rebel Rhyder will be part of the festivities. And she is a big-time perv magnet and the ABN-nominated performer, and we will look forward to seeing her in Chi-Town, as they say. And we are going to take a brief time out, and when we come back, we have got more coming up. It is your big, big broadcast, coast to coast and boda to boda, all over the place.
Here's James Davis once again on the Jiggy Jaguar Experience. Comedian James Davis.
New from Shake